Hi there, Dan from KPS Digital Marketing here, and in this video we've teamed up with Bitly to share with you our 3 most effective influencer marketing strategies that you can execute today. So what is influencer marketing? Influencer marketing is all about utilising the audience and influence of someone else to help you achieve your objectives. So this could be to sell more products, sell more services, it could be to help increase your brand awareness. Anything you want, any of your objectives, influencers can help you achieve them. So why should you consider using influencer marketing? The simple answer is it works. It works so well, and the reason it works is because these influencers have invested a lot of their time and effort in building trust and credibility with huge audiences out there. So when they go out there to their audience and say, talk about a new product, talk about a new service, their audience listen and they take action. So let's get into the strategies, the influencer marketing strategies. So the first strategy is really simple, but I see so many people still getting it wrong. And what it is to build relationships with influencers. A lot of businesses, brands, people will go out there to an influencer, directly contact them and ask for something. Can you share this? Can you promote that? You don't want to do that at all. What you want to do is build relationships with these influencers before you go out there asking for things from them. And the way you do this is a number of ways. The first thing you need to think about is how are you providing value for them? And you can do this by sharing their content, engaging with their content, signing up to their email list and engaging with them via there, helping sell their products and services. So you could be, if they've got a webinar, if they've got a course, promote that course, promote that webinar for them. And the one really tangible thing I want you all to do is to make sure you tag those influencers on Twitter or on Facebook when you share their content, when you promote their content, because they will start to get notifications telling them that you're the one that's providing value for them. So make sure you do that. Another thing I'd really recommend is to go to live events and meet these influencers face to face and build real life relationships. For example, I recently went to Snap Happen, which was the world's first ever Snapchat event in London, and I got to rub shoulders with some really big Snapchat influencers, including Chris Cubby, Shandoras, Carlos Gil, and I built some really strong relationships with them, and I'd advise you to do the same. However, I also have built relationships without meeting people. So for example, Sam Hurley, who is, I think he's #1 digital influencer in the world, I've built a really good relationship with him on social media by doing the things that I mentioned previously. And he now shares a lot of my content, I share a lot of his content, and we help each other out. So make sure, the key takeaway from this is to go to live events and build relationships with influencers, but also add value to influencers online. Share their content, share their products, share their services, and tag them. The second strategy, which we've had a huge amount of success with and anyone can do, is to write a blog and feature those influencers within a blog and reach out to them and let them know that you featured them. For example, you could use a tool called BuzzSumo to find the most shared content on a specific topic, create a list style post to feature those pieces of content, and then the people who have written them, reach out to them and let them know about it. You could also create a list style blog, which we've recently done, which lists the most influential people on a specific topic. So there's a number of tools which will help you find these influencers. There's BuzzSumo, there's another great tool called Lumanu, which helps you find influencers on a specific topic. So you can list them and say, here's the top 100 most influential content marketers, for example, and then you can reach out to those influencers. And what they tend to do is share that content with their huge audiences, because there's nothing more an influencer loves than to be bigged up, basically. And influencers love talking about themselves. So if you've written a blog about them and you reach out to them and let them know, they're highly likely to share it. So seriously, give it a go, it works. The third and final strategy is to write a guest blog for another publication which already has a large audience's focus on it. For example, I write for Social Media Examiner and Content Marketing Institute, and you need to think which publications in your industry have large audiences that, lots of eyeballs on their content, and you need to write a blog for them and feature an influencer or a number of influencers. What you then do, when this guest blog is published, you reach out to those influencers, similar to the second strategy I spoke of, but this is guest blogging, and then you let them know. What that's doing is that's providing a huge amount of value for those influencers, because those influencers know that these big publications have a lot of attention of them, and you speaking about them within those publications is really going to provide a lot of value for them, and it's going to start that relationship building process. And eventually, when you start to build these really strong relationships, the influencers will do something that you want them to do, which is the process that we're at now with lots of influencers. We've invested a lot of time in building these relationships, and now a huge amount of them share our content and help get our brand out there to the world. So there's the 3 strategies for you. I hope you found them useful. If you've got any questions at all, please do connect with me on social media, tweet me, Snapchat me. Here's all the links here. So please do reach out, and I hope you've enjoyed this. And thanks to Bitly for teaming up with us for this. Bye.